Wollondilly Shire Council staff, what they think is efficient and good customer service. Let's look at 3 staff members: Paul Mangione, Marcello Chiodo and Kay Brow. Paul Mangione, he's the customer service team leader. Paul Mangione is Wollondilly Shire Council's customer service team leader and privacy officer. It would therefore be reasonable for residents to assume that he would be quite familiar with both the Customer Service Policy, Statement of Ethics, Code of Conduct and Privacy Act. So let's have a look at that, shall we? Customer Service Policy. Now, all employees must not engage in harassing or intimidating behaviour. Now, on the 4th of July 2016 at approximately 11:45 a.m, Paul Mangione, Marcello Chiodo, Kay Brow engaged in conduct which resulted in locking a resident in council chambers. Now, this was recorded on video surveillance and was requested by police at the time of the incident and is yet to be handed over. Policy states that staff are to assist authorities in their investigations. So why are these 3 staff, as well as the general manager and all councillors, not assisting police in their investigation? Let's look at the policies. Customer Service Policy states you must be respectful. Locking someone in council chambers is not respectful. Continue policies. It also states that you are to assist authorities in their investigation. So why are 3 staff members, a general manager and 9 councillors not assisting police with their investigations? This would be grounds for termination under the anti-corruption and prevention policy that council has implemented and is governed by. New councillors would be required to hand over the video surveillance to police and would be able to sack those individuals that were covering this up. They would also be able to recommend criminal proceedings commence against the staff, general manager and councillors for these actions, as well as any compensation be ordered to be paid by the staff councillors instead of the ratepayer. Paul Mangione continued. Now, part of any employee's job at council is to not provide false and misleading information or be deceitful. Paul Mangione was asked to provide a list of council's external reviewers. His response is that it is not available. Now, this is clearly misleading and deceptive conduct by a customer service team leader. A complaint was also submitted and received by council, and Paul Mangione stated that it wasn't received even though it had a received stamp on it. Misleading and deceptive conduct and fraud, actually. These staff clearly are unable to follow policy and to ensure we have a team who is acting in the best interest of the community. Perhaps these sort of staff need to be removed out of this business. Let's have a look at Marcello Chiodo. Marcello Chiodo, now this is the individual who took it upon himself to come running down the stairs at a woman trying to, in her mind, physically assault her. He didn't at the time have on any identification pursuant to council policy and she had no idea what he wanted. Again, he is the IT manager and apparently he is unable to get hold of the video surveillance for this incident that police have requested. So is what council want us to believe that we have an IT manager who is unable to extract video surveillance that would clearly show the incident and all involved? Or is it that council are trying to withhold evidence of false imprisonment? Take a good long look at this picture. This man came running at a woman, threatening her, and there is video surveillance to support this, and neither council management, councillors or staff are willing to release to the authorities, even though it is a requirement by policy to assist any authorities in their investigations. New councillors can immediately remove any staff for covering up corrupt conduct. This includes the general manager and all staff. They can also request that compensation be paid by the staff and not the ratepayers. Now, what your councillors did regarding this was nothing. Last contact with the police, they still hadn't received the video surveillance. Why are we paying an IT manager who can't extract video surveillance of allegations of criminal activity? Is it because he did in fact threaten this woman? This is the man. Take a good hard look. That's who he is. Kay Brow, let's have a look at her. Customer service operator. Well, I would hardly call what she did customer service, but anyway, I'll let you decide. She's an older lady in council who, for whatever reason, believes she will tell you what you can and can't have. On the 4th of the 7th, 16, she stood over and listened in on a private conversation, which was clearly not only a breach of the Privacy Act, but breaches the Customer Service Policy. She was also a party to locking a resident in council chambers against their will, along with Paul Mangione and Marcello Chiodo. This isn't the first incident with this staff member and her questionable customer service behaviour or her incessant need to inject herself into private conversations that have nothing to do with her. When a customer enters council chambers and is served by one person, they have an expectation that they won't be ganged up on or that other staff will inject themselves into conversations that have nothing to do with them. As a woman, I expected her to not stand by and participate as 2 men threaten another woman. She not only stood by, but she participated in what has been described by the victim as violence against a woman. What to do about it? These staff clearly are unable to follow policy, and to ensure we have a team who is acting in the best interest of the community, perhaps these sort of staff need to be removed out of this business. Now, the General Manager is clearly allowing this, and the councillors are allowing the General Manager to do this, which is why on September 10 you need to vote for people who are going to ensure that the staff adhere to policy and legislation, and if they don't, they are removed. The residents deserve better, and you can make this happen. Vote below the line to ensure that preferences are limited, and don't allow staff to threaten residents or endorse violence against women. It is not acceptable, and those who display it should be sacked immediately.